So Arsenal 2, Sevilla D team 0. Easy night's work, Kenny, for the goalkeeper. He had one shot to save, and that was literally in the 96th minute.
Yes, right.
Straight at him. William Saliba could have had a cigarette and a cigar, whatever, apart from one great recovery tackle where I thought the fella had got through. Didn't really see the defenders. Tommy Asu was getting up and down. Ben White had a couple of shots, but centre halves and goalkeeper, light work. Jorginho, unbelievable pass. The weight of pass on that was absolutely class. The fact that he put that on a plate for Saka. Saka, all he had to do is he's done that a billion times in his life. Square it to the striker. Our striker scores. Eddie, our striker scores. And we're 1-0 up. Gabriel Martinelli running around 100 mile an hour without any real end quality. Declan Rice looking busy again. Zinchenko, 35, I'm calling him from now on. Nearly worldy. And the second goal, absolutely class. What a cutback. The way he chopped back inside Saka, great from quick throwing from 35. Martinelli, boom. You were at the ground. Sevilla were loud. We see them on the TV waving their scarves, bouncing up and down. They have got Betis at the weekend, which is their equivalent to a North London derby. Which is why they rested everybody. That was the easiest night's work you will ever see.
You know what? I kind of was thinking, hang on a minute. When I saw Sevilla's team, I was thinking, where's Navas? Where's Rakitic? I was thinking, hang on it. And Campos as well. Have they sort of think, well, you know what? Let's see if we can get the Europa League, because I must say, like, it was a very controlled performance by Arsenal. I thought that, you know, it was a European game. I think, you know, sometimes, you know, certain players suit the tempo of the Champions League, and I think Jorginho, you know, guy you mentioned, he definitely suits the tempo of the Champions League. I think now we know what we know. It was probably a game to play Zinchenko ahead of Tommy Asu, because you didn't really need Tommy Asu in this game, especially with the players that were left out. Because, you know, like they anticipated Navas to play, but Navas isn't playing to give him a bit of a running power and pace. You know, Zinchenko would have been a lot better, because I think, although we're saying it's a comfortable night, there was a few frustrations. First 20 minutes, you're thinking we find it very hard to break down. And I think a lot of that was to do was the fact that our tempo was very Champions League type tempo, you know, keeping possession, trying to move the pieces around. And when we up the tempo, that's when we scored a very, very good goal. Brilliant goal. You know, great ball. As you said, excellent ball by Jorginho. Saka's first time, like I said, assist. And, you know, first time shot by, you know, like Trossard. And I thought, Trossard, you know what? He scored. It wasn't a Tross-like performance, but I think he's very, very disciplined. But,
he was trying to get involved without getting involved.
I think what's happened is that he when you play centre forward, he's heavily reliant on, you know, Saka and Martinelli. And I think what's happened is that there were times when, as you said, Martinelli had you know, Sevilla on toast. He was getting in behind them, but you know what it was is that, you know, I think they accepted the fact that Martinelli had a lot of pace down the left-hand side. So what they're going to do is say, right, if he puts the cross in, we're going to have bodies, we're going to clear the ball. So who knows? If Martinelli's delivery was a lot better, Trossard would have definitely got back getting into the game. But Declan Rice is his usual self. I thought Declan Rice did a lot better today in terms of, like, he tried to, you know, make forward runs, second half. I thought that's was his game. But, you know, you want to call him a 29. Obviously, but you have to sort of look in the first half where he played at a more advanced position. I think he played on sort of like, you know, left half midfield, and then, you know, in attacking sense, he wasn't getting the game. I think the second half when we brought on Zinchenko, where he played a number 10, I thought, you know, he did get into the game a lot. You know, he had a shot that was deflected, and that shot that went round the post. But one of the things that really frustrates me, there was an instance in the second half when, you know, Martinelli gets down the left hand side, he puts a cross in, and you look at Kai and you're thinking, hang on, mate, come on.
He's on his heels.
You're on your heels, and there's quite a few times I was thinking, come on, Kai. Because I'll tell you that.
Even the Saka goal. Even the Saka goal. We're all screaming on that watch along. If that's Haaland, if that's Kane, if that's any Watkins, any competent forward, Tony, whoever it is, even Eddie, they're busting their lungs to get in. And he was just jogging.
And that's the thing. sometimes, right, you say it's his style, but come on, you've got to be more demanding because, believe it or not, there's a lot of Arsenal fans, me included, that we just want him to score because we know that if he scores, it will rip the stadium off. And I think, as much as some people, are like basically like resigned to the fact that they're not sure they're going to see a good game from him, and I'm probably one of them. I think Dick Dan, if he played well, it'll be good for all of us because we'll get enjoyment out of it because we're thinking, hang on here, we'll start printing out T-shirts. We've seen Kyle Havertz play well, we'll score.
Yeah, you was there when he scored.
So far, the away fans had that pleasure at Bournemouth, but saying that with Kai, and you got to say it, is that I had discussions with people outside the ground when we're coming out of our seats, and it's always with Kai. It's like he was okay. Now he wasn't catastrophic. He was okay. He worked hard. You're thinking, hang on, it's £65 million. You need better than that. And that's the thing. A lot of people said Kai Havertz looked a lot better, and you're thinking, look, it's a equivalent of like your A-level report or your school report where a guy's not very good at Latin, but he's making a slight improvement. So he's gone from getting an E in Latin to maybe a D. And you're saying he's made a slight improvement, but he still hasn't passed. Passed his Latin.
But his parents have been paying £2,500 a month for a private tutor for Latin lessons.
And that's the thing. You look at Kai and you're thinking it's like he's making his debut every game that he plays for us, and today was no different. But the thing about it is that you just look at him and you're thinking you just want a bit of drive. You want to be a bit hungry getting on the ball because at the end of the day, man, he's playing a team that dominates possession like we did today, and a team that does try to play better football than what he was used to in his last, under Graham Potter and at Chelsea. But the situation is that sometimes at Kai you can take him too well, but you can't force him to drink. But that's a positive in terms of like he wasn't crap, but you need more from him. Need more because we've got Burnley at the weekend. Burnley going to be expansive. He's going to get a lot of space. Is Kai going to fill his boots? Because we don't.
I know you obviously see more of the game because you can see the whole pitch here.
Yeah.
But again, I was on 29 watch at times, and I'm like, he's just running around in circles. The ball's popping around him. Then he was sheeping the ref at times tonight. He runs into spaces where you can't give him the ball between two players. He'll go back into a player. So Declan Rice, I think it was, had the ball.
Yeah.
He's backed into a player, but there's another player 2 yards away from him. So Declan Rice had to pass that over to 35. Yeah, and I'm like, you've walked into that position, whereas if you just dropped in between the gaps, you can turn and spin, and you've got 20 yards of space.
Yeah,
I don't know whether he's doing that because he's trying to learn that position, which is what I keep getting told, or whether he's just like so devoid of anything. He's just lost. Yeah.
No, it is. It's that I suppose it's I don't know what it is. It's an approach to confidence thing, but like I said, if you take away from the thing, there's still a situation. Another sort of subplot was Saka getting his knock because 10 minutes before Saka got the kick, my mate of mine, a good friend of mine, I've known him, we grew up together in Islington. He was saying to me, "Get Saka off, get Martinelli off, we're 2-0 up, get him off." And with then you look at it, 10 minutes later, Saka gets a really big kick. He
5 more minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And then he went down again. So, a lot of people at the ground, when he came off the pitch, we could see, Bukayo Saka sort of walking a bit gingerly, but he wasn't walking free-flowingly. And then, someone just told me just now that when he walked down the tunnel, he looked okay. But again, it's one of those things.
They'll juice him up with horse tranquilizer and
because
and some yam.
Well, it's going to be very interesting because obviously we've got Burnley, but Gareth Southgate is announcing his squad tomorrow, and obviously like the big talking point with Sky is whether Sterling will get a game. But again, it's one of those things where England have already qualified. Would Saka be needed for those games?
Players left, right.
But the thing is, it's a very interesting subplot because I was watching, obviously watching Sky. There's a lot of players where Southgate he's getting a bit irritated with certain players pulling out the squad. Obviously, there was a situation with Sterling pulling out Jay. So I don't know what the situation is, because as I said to you before many times, as much as we're Arsenal fans and Arsenal comes first, with Gareth Southgate's squad, because of the fact that there's so many competition for places, players are reluctant to pull out now because they know that if someone comes and takes their place, they won't get it back. So I think Saka will feel.
Saka's place. There's
Well,
no
yeah,
one,
you say that, but you say that you know there's so many players who are good enough to get in the squad, and would have been good enough to get into certain squads with you know, Croydon Roy and other people. But now they can't get games because it's fully packed. And let's look, you know, Sterling was his go-to man. If you look at the stats for England, Sterling has played as the only player that's appeared more times under Southgate for is Harry Kane. It's Sterling. Now he's pulled out a squad. You know, there's still a bit of ambiguity regarding what happened when he was in you know, like World Cup. What happened? People, you know, the story keeps on changing about what happened with the burglary, who was in the house, or you know, he's now out in the cold. So I don't know. Saka's a very respectful person. He's not going to put club before country because players don't want to do that now. Not under this manager, not under this regime.
Yeah, no, it's very true, man. Listen, I appreciate your time, Kenny. I'm glad you've seen a win after 2 sorry losses.
Oh, yeah, you know what? You West Ham last week, I was effing and jeffing, and then Newcastle, we were just like cracking eggs against the wall, thinking how are we going to break them down today.
We've stopped the rot, mate. We've stopped the rot. We're top of the group. I think we need a point to qualify.
Definitely,
yeah, should qualify. But again, yeah, not the greatest performance, and we're not clicking like last season.
Not at all. And I think
we're a few players and the subs came on and some of them done right. Very quickly before you go, who was your man of the match?
Oh, my man of the match is Martinelli because he was the one who changed the tempo of the football match. Yeah, there were times when I agree with you there where the end product could be a lot better. But what happens is that the fact that he was trying to quicken the tempo, left space if other players wanted to. When the tempo's slow, then we weren't going to crack the league. So he does take a lot of credit in the fact that he did open the floodgates. But obviously, Jorginho as well opened the floodgates. That great pass. And I thought this suits his tempo a lot. And I think Zinchenko,
he did well when he came on. Yeah,
he did okay when he came on. But again, European football, possession based. Quick, slow, then quick in the last. But that suits them. So, but for me, Martinelli opened the floodgates.
No, listen, make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972. I'll put the link in the description. And Kenny, get home safely, mate. Appreciate it. I'll see you Saturday. Hopefully,
see you Saturday.
Smiling again on Saturday when we'll be.
Well, I don't know who's going to score a hat trick against a promoted side. Last time it was Eddie. He probably might play.
My baller, Trossardinho.
I hope so. I pray so. He scored a hat trick last year at Anfield, so he's capable of doing it. Anyway, I'll see you soon. See ya.
Get home safe, mate.